Hey, 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 welcome back to another great video. This is your girl, Jay Way, here with Jewel Nail Designs. Okay. You guys already know what to do. Go ahead and hit that like, that comment, and definitely subscribe so you can stay connected and join this wonderful family. Also, turn on those post notifications so you never miss another great uploaded video like today. Okay, so jumping straight into the video, I'm super excited. As you can already see, we have some nice goodies coming from Amazon. And I wanted to just do some unboxing, watch me work, and catch this great video today. So what's inside? What's inside? Do we know what's inside? Well, by the thumbnail, you guys already know what's inside, but I'm just going to go ahead and say we got some dip powder. Okay, so I am going to go over some dip powder that we got from Amazon. I want to test it out. I want to bring you guys along the process. So we are going to do some dip powder nails today. This is going to be an unboxing, a swatch, and a watch me work. So we're going to combine it all in this wonderful video. So without further ado, I'm excited. Let's go ahead and jump into this video. Let's go. Okay, so jumping back into the video, this is going to be our dip powder. This is Dip Powder Nail Kit Professional Dip Powder Nail System. So you guys already know I'm not good with names like this. So please comment down below. How do you pronounce this? How do you pronounce that name? I am not sure. I think it's Aokitec. I'm not quite sure, but like I said, definitely comment down below. Let me know how to pronounce this. I'm just going to say a dip powder nail kit, okay? Because I'm not great with names like this. But this is how it's looking. This is their Christmas edition, so that's why you see that lovely Santa Claus-like figure right here. But this was super affordable on Amazon. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this was under $5 or $6. So I said, hey, let's give it a go and see what it has to offer. So this is all the information, the specs, and the dip nail system. You can pause the video and read all this information included. Specification, ingredients, warm tips, contact us, how to use, all that good jazz, the manufacturer information, all of that. So this is how it's looking. I am excited to jump inside. So let's go ahead and do that. This is everything that came inside of the kit. We're going to go over them individually, but I just wanted to give you an overall brief of everything that's included in the kit. So let's go ahead and go through them individually. I'm going to put this to the side and I'll bring it out one by one. So as always, you'll have the manual, the instructions of how to use, how to store, all that good jazz. This gives you the information right here on how to do the dip powder. I've done this a million times, but for those that's just getting started or want to do it correctly, definitely pause the video and read this, or read your information very carefully so you can do the dip powder and it can come out just the way that you want it to. This is the information on the back, is how to remove the dip powder, warm tips, and it also shows you as far as the coloring. Now this part is really important because if you want a lighter color for your dip powder, you're going to just want to do it maybe 1 or 2 times, but the more you do the dip powder, like the more layers you add into it, is going to intensify the color and it's going to become a lot darker. So that is important, and I'm so glad that they put that in there because a lot of people don't know. The less layers you have, the lighter the color. The more layers you have, the deeper and the richer the color is going to become. So that's awesome. I love that it has this. Moving along, it has this really pretty ring. So when you get done, you can take all those nice little photos. You know, that's what we love to do over here at Jewel Nail Designs. So we're definitely going to keep this ring so we can go ahead and have that at the end. Also, they included several different wooden cuticle pushers. I love this. And they also have a cuticle nipper. This is super important, along with some additional brushes. First of all, can we just appreciate the fact that they have it all combined in this little plastic bag right here? Like, this is amazing. It's not going to be falling out all over the place. This is in one package kit. It has everything that you need to get started and do your dip powder application. I love that. So thank you guys so much. Oh, and by the way, this video is not sponsored. This is with J-Ways Coin as usual. If they want to start the sponsorship, I mean, I'll leave the information in the video, okay? But this is not sponsored. This is 100% with my money. So I'm just giving you my honest, unfiltered opinions, okay? They also included this cuticle pusher, and this is like a scraper, so you can scrape off the dead skin around your cuticles. You can push your cuticles back, and also this would be good for dip powder use. If you have any on your skin, which you don't want to do, you can quickly take this up with this. Just be very careful because these can become very sharp and you don't want to damage your skin or your nails in any way. It also included this cute little brush duster. That's what I'm gonna call it. I'm not quite sure the official name, but I'm calling it kind of like a nail duster that you can just brush off the excess dip powder. This is also essential in dip powder application. It also has this wonderful nail file right here. This is 100, 180. This is also very essential in dip powder nails. Dip powder is very easy to work with, so you shouldn't have to do any aggressive filing. But with this right here, this will get the job done. So I'm so glad that they have this, and I love this grip right here. So what you're going to need for your application, we have 1 for the base coat, 2 for the activator, and 3 for the glossy top coat. So you're going to need all this to complete that dip powder nail application. I'm so glad that they have this, and this will be essential in doing your dip powder nails. Also, they gave us additional brushes, so if you need to change them out, you have that available as well. And last but not least, we have all these wonderful dip powder colors right here. I'm like super excited to just jump right in. I think I'm going to do a swatch of all the colors. I'll kind of breeze through that part. I'll kind of just fly through that part because I don't want the video super long, but I'll at least show you how all the colors is looking like. We're not going to use all the colors, obviously. We're going to see what we come up with, but I do want to do a swatch to just see what it's looking like. So let's go ahead and jump into that swatch. All right, guys, so before I start the application, as far as just doing the swatches of these, I just wanted to come on briefly and let you know. So with these cuticle pushers, this cuticle stick right here, this wooden stick, this will come in handy when you are doing your dip powder application with any of the colors that you have. First of all, I love that it has this protective seal, so it made sure that it's going to come to you in one piece. It's not going to be all over the place. And I'm actually going to keep this. I like to keep this as my stopper so I can put it back in. And then next, I love that with the sharper end of the stick, you can go ahead and just swirl this in. You can mix it in, because sometimes if the colors are pigmented or if there's glitters like it is in this one, it might be settled. So you may need to mix it in and to stir it just so you can make sure you have an even application. So this wooden stick comes in handy with that. You can just go ahead and mix all of the color inside of here. Make sure it's nice and evenly distributed. And once you're done, just wipe this off and go to the next, because you don't want to contaminate the next bottles that you have. So I just wanted to come on here and show that briefly. So I had to zoom you guys out so you can see all the colors side by side. I tried to change to a different background, and I'll do my best to put it all into frame. But basically, this is what we're looking like. We went ahead and did one coat of each of the dip powders. We put the base coat on, we put the activator on, and then we put that glossy top coat. This is what it's giving. I love all the colors for different reasons, but I do love all the colors. I will say a couple of things. This bottle is 10 grams, it's 0.33 ounces, but I must say it is full. Each and every one of these bottles was full to the top. So you don't get a big bottle, but you do get a lot of product inside of this bottle. So that's definitely a plus. It's geared towards the winter season. It's geared towards like the winter Christmas type of season. But like I always say in all my videos, if you love the color, go ahead and wear it. It doesn't really matter. Not to me. I don't really go off the seasons. Sometimes I may do something a little bit geared to that season, but if I love a color, if it's a rich color like these greens or this red, I'm going to wear it any time of the year. So I say just have fun with your nails and do what you want to do, express yourself, and, you know, be creative. So this is what it's looking like. Another thing that I wanted to say is that it went on pretty well. There's a couple of tips and tricks I want to give you guys. I did a lot off of camera, but I want to say that for the most part, you do want to wipe your brushes off because the colors will bleed, especially these darker, deeper colors right here, especially these greens and reds, they will bleed into the color. So I had to wipe my brush off continuously. And with my base coat, I actually pulled it out by accident. So I'm so glad that they gave us the extra brushes because I went ahead and just popped an extra brush in. I was good to go. So you want to keep that in mind to make sure that you continuously wipe your brushes off so the colors don't bleed and it won't get back into the bottle and won't contaminate the bottle. Also, with the smell, it's pretty strong. It's not unbearable, but I would say it's pretty strong, especially the top coat. The top coat smells, in my opinion, it smells just like glue. So if you have a sensitivity, just be careful towards that. It's not overpowering or something I can't do, but for those that may be kind of sensitive, I just want to throw that out there because I know some people have allergies and sensitivities and things like that. But it's just far as the smell, I wanted to mention that it is kind of strong. It's given like a glue, like a nail glue type of smell. Other than that, it went on very nicely. I love the colors. This is just with one coat. I will move these bottles out of the way and I'll show you the individual swatches by themselves so you can kind of get the gist of the color, but the numbers itself is going to be 008, 311, 003, 001, 005, 004, 263, 312, and 283. So this is how it's looking like all together. Also, I want to mention with this right here, because once I go over the swatches, that part is going to be kind of fast. We're going to breeze through that. But with this one right here, this is kind of, it says in the advertisement, this is a builder. So basically, if you want to wear this as a color, you're more than welcome to, because some people just like the very natural, neutral type of look, and that's fine. You can do it this way and put it over your natural nails as an overlay. That would be perfect. If you want to wear this as a color, in my opinion, I would suggest doing multiple coats because this is kind of really sheer, so you don't see it as much. This color is really sheer, so you might want to add several coats to get the opacity that you're looking for. But if you want that sheer overlook, like I said, and just put it on your natural nails, you're more than welcome to do that. It's a beautiful, very soft, very light pink color. So this is how this one is looking like, and it's actually called a builder. So I'm probably going to use this on my nails first because I'm not quite sure what color I'm gonna use, but I don't like going in with the color itself because I don't want it to stain my nails. So I normally go in with some type of clear or white, and then I go ahead and build it up with this color. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll just use this one right here, the builder, as my builder, my base, and then I'll go in with the color once I finalize and pick the color that I want. I'm going to try my best to use everything in the kit. I really don't want to use anything outside of the kit. I want to make this as beginner friendly as possible. For my advanced and my professionals, you guys already know what it is, but I want to gear this more towards the people that's just starting out, beginners. They don't know dip powder that well. I want to make this as easy and simple as possible because if you just follow the steps, which is super easy, you can come out with some amazing nails. So that's what we're going to do today. The only thing I'm going to probably use is my recycling kit my recycling center, which I'll show you in just a bit, for the dip powder, because it tends to go on better and evenly with that. So I'm going to use that, which did not come in this kit. But other than that, I'm going to try my best to use everything that came in the kit. So these are all 9 of the colors, all side by side. I'm going to show you a swatch of the colors individually. I'm going to get my nails all together off camera, and then we'll come back on camera and do this dip powder. So let's go. All right, so jumping back into the video, we had a slight intermission, pushing back my cuticles, filing, shaping, buffing, and I also threw on some nails as well. So this is what we're looking like. And we're going to go ahead and start the dip powder application. So I decided the colors that I wanted because I had to figure that out as well. I'm going to go ahead with this beautiful red color, and I'm also going to go with this sparkly glitter color because we love the sparkle and all that. We love that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with this builder right here, which is 283. This is what I was telling you guys before. It's a very, very light pink color. I mean, it matches very well. So if you wanted a nude, very light pink natural color, if you have nails that's already long and you just want to put this on as an overlay or to have some type of structure to make them strong, this would be perfect for that. I'm just going to use this as kind of like my base because I don't want to stain my nails with this red or sparkle. So I'm going to use this as my base, and then I'm going to put the colors on. Now with this, I'll tell you guys along the way, but I'm basically only going to put it on maybe about 3/4 of the nail. It doesn't get stained, but basically I want to put my color and my glitter on. Now I think I probably will do about 3 to 4. This is going to be one application, maybe 2 by itself, and then with the colors and the glitter I probably would do about 2 or 3 of the dip powders on that. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm definitely going to bring you guys along the process. I'm going to talk you through on my left hand, and then as usual on my right hand I'll just kind of speed past that part. But we're going to go ahead and start this process. And with the glitter, I think that I'm going to put it on my pointer and my pinky just to do something different, and then these 3 will be the red nail. So I am super excited and I'm done rambling, so let's go ahead and get started with this dip powder process. I want to use everything that came in the kit, which I have done. This is the only thing that did not come in the kit. I believe I purchased this from Shein a good while back. You can definitely check it out. Amazon has this, Temu, a lot of those places have. I think this is called the recycling tray for dip powder. You just would sprinkle this over your nails. I could just dump my finger in the bottle itself, but I kind of don't want to do that because sometimes it'll have like ridges and creases, and I don't want that. So with the system that I'm going to do, I'm going to just sprinkle it over my nails. And I love this tray because you can recycle it and just keep using it until you're done. Clean it up, put it back, and you'll be good to go. So this is what we're going to use, and I'm going to get the base coat. This is going to be step 1. So I'm going to just do it on my left hand with you guys, and then I'll zoom through the right hand. So I'm going to put the base coat about 3/4 of the nail. I like to do maybe just a strip to kind of seal in this false nail and my nails to make sure that it's going to be nice and secure. So that's what we're going to do. And you actually want to use very thin layers. You do not want it thick, because however you put it on, that's how it's going to be. So I want very thin layers, very, very thin layers. And I'm just going to do just a little bit of the nail, just about halfway. Going to get my recycling tray, and with this builder powder right here, I'm just going to sprinkle it. And I definitely like doing it this way because it kind of just stays nice and neat, and I can just brush it off and put it right back into that container. So what I like to do is just kind of tap my hands. I don't like to use the brush right away because you can have lines inside of it and it can brush the product right off. So I kind of just like to tap my fingers like that, and I move on to the very next nail so this can dry, and we'll come back. You want to do nice, very thin layers. So I'm just going about halfway. I'm not going all the way up to the cuticle, a little bit under the cuticle, and then not all the way to the tip of the nail as well. So I like to make sure that's nice and saturated. I like to tap my hands a few times. And this is what we're looking like so far. And you want to make sure if there's any type of imperfections or anything on your fingers, you want to get that off as soon as you can, because this is basically almost like a glue kind of consistency. So if you leave it on a place that you don't want, it can dry like that. So if you need to clean up, definitely clean up as soon as you put that dip powder on. Don't wait too long. All right. And that's what we're looking like so far. And you can also take into consideration the more dip powder layers you do, the thicker your nails is going to be, but the stronger it's going to be as well. So if you like really thick nails or very strong, durable nails, definitely put more coats on. I'm okay with just a few coats today. That's fine with me. I probably will change my nails soon, eventually anyway. If you put more layers on, you'll definitely have thicker nails, and it'll definitely be stronger. So that is something to take into consideration. All right, on to the pinky. You can do it any way you like to. If you want to dip your hands into it, you can do it at a 45-degree angle, or if you want to just maybe sprinkle it on, that's fine too. That's what I'm doing. This is what I like to do, but definitely find a groove that you would like and maybe just play around with it, see what works best for you, and do it that way. We're going to use everything that came in that kit. So we have this right here. This is the brush that came in it. I'm going to say this is just maybe a nail brush or a duster brush, a fan brush. And I'm just going to brush the excess off, and you'll see a little bit that'll come off, but that's perfectly fine. So I like to do this after the fact, let it dry just a little bit, and then brush the excess off. Super easy, guys. Super easy. All right, so this is how it's looking like so far. Not bad. It's giving us a barrier. It's giving us some strength. So we'll definitely need that between our nail and the false tip, which is great. And it's also giving us a barrier so our natural nail won't get stained, because sometimes, depending on the dip powder, it can stain your nail because the color is very saturated, it's very opaque. So I just want to make sure that doesn't happen. So this is going to be our builder, our little base. So we're going to go back in, and I'm going to put one more layer of this base on. I'm going to make sure and try my best to do this as thinly and carefully as possible, because I don't want my nail super bulky. But I do just want one layer, one full layer from cuticle to tip of this builder on right here. So that's what you see me doing, just like this, covering the whole nail. And I'm just going to lightly tap it. I don't want to use my fan brush because it can have streaks and lines into it, and I don't want to do that. This is okay. This is not bad, but I'm going to clean up the tip. Just want it as perfect as possible. First of all, that will help during the filing, so you don't have to do all that. And secondly, we don't want any on our skin. All right, so we're going to move on to the pointer. Same thing. And this is just like brushing on nail polish. If you can brush on nail polish, you can do this whole system, because basically that's how it is. It's super easy, very beginner friendly. So I wanted to just show this option for you as well. So you just will brush this on like nail polish. Try not to get any on your skin. You don't want to get any on your cuticles, anything like that. You take this dip powder and then you just sprinkle it over your nails. And I know I'm kind of at a weird angle, like I have this on top, but I will show you that you can actually put your hand in the little slot and it'll go on that way as well. So I'm just dipping off the excess, and that's how we're looking so far. Not bad. And I will dust it off later. I don't want to do that right now. I'm just putting a very, very thin layer of this base coat on top of my nails, and I'm covering the whole nail this time. I know some people like to do it gradually, but I just want to do it in one swipe and one go because I don't want it to be a long process, and also I'm not going to put that many coats on of the color as either. This is what I was telling you. You can definitely put your hand in this little groove right here. It's meant for that, and you just sprinkle this on top of your nail. And I love this recycling because it's super easy. You tap off the excess and you can just always take it out and pour it right back in. So that's what we're looking like so far. We will dust it off a little bit later. We're going to move on to the ring finger, taking very, very thin coats. And this part is just like nail polish. So if you can put on nail polish, you can do this. You can do the whole system. It's super easy, I promise you. Maybe do it a couple times if you're not used to it, but it's super easy. You'll catch the hang of it. And you'll have some amazing nails at the end. So I like to make sure all that is covered. Now, before I finish, I see some on my skin. I don't know if you guys can see that because these lights are bright, but I'm just cleaning up just a little bit because like I said, I don't want to do that later and I don't want that stuff on my skin. So I'm just pouring this over my nail, super easy. And I'm just tapping off the excess. And I'm just going to do a light cleanup to make sure it's not on my skin. All right, and we're good to go. We're going to do this pinky. All right, you take that, you get this right here. These are 10 grams, 0.33 ounces, but it was full. So you get a lot of product. You can do this several times. If you have clients, you can do theirs as well. This is super easy. It comes with a lot and it is super full. So you get a lot of bang for your buck. And this was super cheap, very affordable, under 10 bucks. So this is how it's looking like so far. Now, before we finish this part, I'm going to go ahead and take our little brush and I'm going to fan off or dust off the excess. So that's what it's looking like. And I'm putting it right back in this tray because you'll see in just a second, we are going to put everything back in that container. All right, so this is what we're looking like so far. Not bad. Don't worry if the application isn't perfect because we are going to put on a color after this. However, for my natural girlies, if you like your nails very natural, you want it very minimalistic, you can just go ahead and add another coat or two and you can leave it just like this and you'll be good to go. Some people like the very minimalistic, natural type of vibe that's just given very clean and elegant, and I don't mind that as well. So you can stop right here, maybe do another coat or two, put your activator, your glossy top, and you'll be good to go. I'm adding color, but I just wanted to let you guys know that this is a beautiful color by itself if you just want that natural look. So to use the system, what it's going to do is it's just going to keep recycling the dip powder. You just place it back in the container and you'll be good to go. And this is what it's looking like. Also, you have some down here and this bottom one because it gives you 2 shelves. Sometimes it's 1, but this one has 2. And I like to recycle as much as I can. And we are good to go. And I like to just dump it out this way as well because you'll have some kind of tucked away in there, but no worries. And place that back on. I'm just going to put this to the side because I'm going to use it again. You can take a brush like this and just dust it off because we're going to be using color, or if you want to wipe it off, you're more than welcome to do that as well. But I find that if I just dust it off, I'm good to go. So that's what I'm going to do this time. I'm just dusting off the excess. And now this is nice and clean and this is good to go. So you guys bear with me one moment. I'm going to clean my mat up and we're going to come right back and continue. So jumping back in, I'm going to go ahead and start with this color right here. This is going to be 263 and I'm going to open it. I'm going to save the glitter. I'm going to do it all together, but I'm going to start with this color first because I'm just a little anxious to get started. So I'm going to get my base coat out again and I am going to put this on the entire nail. I want to make sure I'm doing very thin coats. I don't want it bulky. So you want to make sure you put very thin coats of this base coat on because wherever you put it, that's where the dip powder will stay. So very thin coats. Taking the color and I am pouring it over the entire nail. From side to side, you want to move that finger from side to side. Make sure you're getting the side walls and all of that. And this is a very beautiful, rich, deep color. So what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to save the glitter for the end because I don't want to keep having to clean up. That's going to be a lot. So I'm just going to put a few layers of the red on and then I'll do a few layers of the glitter and then we'll do it like this. You can switch it out, but for video purposes, I'm just going to do it this way. So I'm going to go ahead with the middle finger because I want it on this one as well. We are putting very thin layers of this base coat on. Very thin layers. And then I'm going to sprinkle it on my nail. All right, and I'm just going to tap the excess off. I'm actually going to clean this up right here. Make sure it's not on my finger itself. Clean it up right away, it won't stay on your hand. So that's how it's looking like. All right, and I'm going to move on to the pointer because I want it on this finger as well. And I like to turn that finger from side to side, make sure it's completely saturated. And we will brush the excess off later. All right. So this is what it's looking like so far. Not bad. I'm really loving the intense color. I love that. This is beautiful. I'm going to go ahead and take this little duster right here and I'm going to brush off the excess. I like to wait to the end because I want to make sure that I have this dried. I want to make sure that it's dried basically. I don't want to wipe off the product. So not bad. This is what it's looking like so far. We definitely have some work to do. It's a little bit of thin areas like right there, maybe in some other spots, but no worries. We'll definitely get to that. So we're going to do our second application. And where I missed it before, I'm definitely going to put ample amount of base coat right there so we can fill it in. But not bad so far. This is what we're looking like. Hopefully you guys can see it and I'm in frame. So we want to keep those layers nice and thin. I'm going to wipe off my brush just a little bit because I don't want it to be contaminated with the red when I stick it back into my bottle. So that is pretty good. I'm going to wipe it off a little bit more and that's not bad. And now I'm taking the color again and I'm going to start in that corner and just go from side to side. The thumb is a little bit difficult because the angle is kind of weird. It's kind of wonky, but you guys get the gist of it. And I'm going to turn my hand if I can. Let's do it this way. Yeah, I'm going to turn my hand this way. And I want to really make sure I sprinkle it over the entire nail. and I will leave it be because I will dust off the excess at the end. Going on to the next, which will be this middle finger, and I'm gonna go ahead and place this base coat on the entire nail. If you're able to polish your nails, you're able to do this. This part is like super easy. The whole thing is super easy. Honestly, you don't even need a nail drill, and you really don't even need your nail lamp, because everything you need is in the kit. But speaking of nail lamps, while we're doing this together, you guys have any suggestions on a good nail lamp? Unfortunately, my nail lamp that I had for not that long went out on me, and I absolutely loved it. It was portable, it was rechargeable, but it just decided not to work one day, which is very heartbreaking because I've had it and I've loved it, and I've used it on my nails. I've used it on making press-ons because that's what I love to do as well. So I'm in the market of needing needing another nail lamp. So you guys have any suggestions, please comment down below a good nail lamp to look into. I'm looking for something that is portable and rechargeable because, like I said, I do nails, I do press-ons, I have clients and things like that. So I need it very mobile with me that I can just pick it up and go. Definitely leave some comments down below on some good nail lamps that's out there, and I'll take a look. So I'm just sprinkling this from side to side on this ring finger, and this is what it's looking like so far. The more coats you put on, the deeper and the darker the color is going to look, but I don't mind because I'll have that glitter to kind of offset it. I let this dry for just a couple of seconds because that's what I like to do, and I'm just going to brush off the excess, put it right back in this recycling tray. All right, to try to keep everything as neat as possible. I'm not going to lie, dip powder, you're going to get some powder. You're going to get some powder on some places. So it's good to use a mat, to use something that you'll be able to clean it off. But yeah, dip powder, it's not super messy, but as you can see, yeah, it's dip powder. It's powder. It's going to get in places. So just maybe use something that you're able to clean up and tidy up as you go, and something that's not going to mess your table or anything up. So this is the third, and I think this is going to be the final one. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to do one more coat of this red. I'm loving how it looks so far. It's giving me everything I need. So I'm going to just do one more coat, and then we'll be good to go on the red, and then we'll do the glitter. So I don't know if you guys can see, but I got a little bit on my cuticle right here, but no worries. I'm gonna go ahead and tidy that up as best I can. I don't want it on my nails. I mean, we can always file it off, but as much as you can, try to get all that up on your nails so it doesn't stain your fingers and things like that. So I got some right here, but no worries. I'm able to clean it up, and we will definitely clean up the rest during filing. Trust the process. Trust the process. So I am just sprinkling this all over my thumb. This is kind of a weird angle, so I'm going to flip it around this way because I got to make sure this is done right. I got to wear these. Okay. So yeah, I just want to make sure it's sprinkled all over the thumb. And this is what it's looking like. And I just tap the excess off like that. Not bad. And we're going to go ahead to the middle finger. May not be able to see it, but I am kind of still wiping my brush off. Don't want that red to contaminate the whole base coat. I mean, it should be okay, but I don't want to take any chances. So I am wiping my brush off during the different applications to make sure I don't contaminate the whole bottle. We do have some extra brushes that they gave us, so you can use that as well. And this is working out perfectly because I don't have to put it back in the recycling tray. I can do my last nail, which will be this pointer, and then I can pour everything back in there. So that's perfect. So how are you guys doing? How has everything been? I miss you guys so very much. I am so sorry for the long delay. I'm so sorry for being away from you guys so long, but I definitely miss you. I love interacting with you guys, talking with you. So please leave your suggestions, your comments, anything that you want to talk about. We are more than welcome to do that at this channel. That's what we love to do. I love hearing from you. All of you are so amazing. Consider joining the family because we love to have fun over here. And besides, I have a huge announcement that I meant to tell you. We're fast approaching 500. I need you to subscribe because we're going to have a massive giveaway at 500 subscribers, okay? So definitely consider subscribing to the channel. It's free and you will greatly appreciate it. You'll get to join this wonderful family. We love to have fun. It'll be giveaways. So definitely consider subscribing. I'm just going to brush off the excess. If you have some spillage in some places, like over here, no worries. We'll definitely fix that during filing. So that's not a great concern. We just want to make sure we dust off this excess. And we definitely wanted to make sure we put that dip powder over the entire nail. It's looking a little cray-cray. Trust the process. We will get everything together during filing. And I'm glad it doesn't look like we'll have a lot to file. So that's amazing. So let's go ahead and move on to the glitter. I'm super excited about that one. I want to mention something right quick. So before we even get started on the glitter, go ahead and put this activator on all 3 of these fingers because I'm good to go. I'm not going to put any more dip powder on. So I'm going to place the activator so this can go ahead and start the hardening process. You definitely can't skip this. You got to put that activator on because the activator is make it nice and hard so you can go ahead and start your filing, shaping, and buffing. So do not miss this part. Do not. And wipe your brush off if you need to. I like to actually do several layers of activator because I just want to make sure it can seep through all that dip powder. And honestly, if you wanted to do it during the coats as well, as far as dip powder, activator, dip powder, activator, you can do that as well because I've done it that way. Today, I'm just going to do it this way to make it easier to follow. But if you want to do it during the layers, you're more than welcome to do that as well. So I'm feeling nice and comfortable about this. No worries, we'll fix that during filing. And I'm going to move on to the next nail. I really want to saturate that activator on the whole nail. So I actually like to do multiple layers of activator. Now that I have the activator on the nails, I am happy with that. So I'm going to go ahead and take my recycling system. I'm going to try to get as much as possible. You may get a little bit here and there, but for the most part, you're able to put a good bit of this powder back into the recycling system, which is amazing. And you got some down here as well. It has this little hole here that you can pour it back into, which is great. And I like to use this to dump as much out as possible. And I'm just going to close this for right now. I'm going to dust it off so it's not so messy. The powder is going to get in some places, okay? But no worries. Oh, now I am going to wipe this off, so I will be back in just a moment because it is a little bit stained, but we can get that color out, no worries. So bear with me a little while. I'm going to wipe this out and I will be right back. We're going to move along the process. You have no idea. The struggle was real trying to get all that red out of this recycling system right here. Like I had to do a lot, okay? But she's clean. She's ready to go. For the most part, she's clean, she's ready to go. And we're going to go ahead and get started on putting this right here on. So this is 008. I hope it's not 800, but I think it's 008. And it's this beautiful glitter color from this dip powder kit. So we are going to go ahead and start the process. I'm super excited because, hey, I love my glitters, my sparkle, my razz and dazz. You know, we love that. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start with the base coat. I'm putting it on the entire nail. I am going to do very thin layers. I do not want it thick. So I'm going to do very thin layers, and I'll put about 3 coats as well of this on. And once I have it over the whole nail, I'm satisfied. I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle this beautiful color. And it is just dancing, guys. Like, this is so gorgeous. Oh my goodness. And I want to make sure I get it over the whole nail. I'm going to tap it off. And I'm going to move on to my next finger. I'm going to put it over the entire pinky. And then I'm just going to pour this over the entire nail. They have some where it's just an open tray and you can kind of just place your hand in and do it that way if you prefer. They have a pen that you can sprinkle it on. I actually have that pen and I'll do that next time. Or you can use this. You can just dip your hands inside of the jar and do it that way. But I kind of like this system. To me, this works very well. I'm able to recycle more of it and put it back and just kind of keep it moving. So this is the one that I prefer, but they have several out there. It's a trial and error, so maybe just kind of see what works for you and go from there. But you can definitely find something that is in your budget and find something that will work well for you, whatever you need it to do. All right. So we're doing the second coat of this beautiful glitter all over the finger because I want it all over the whole nail. And I don't know if you guys can see me, but I definitely like to wipe my brush off before I put it back. I don't want to contaminate the whole bottle. All right. So we're going to just place it over this entire pointer. And no worries if it's a little bit bumpy or lumpy. We are going to fix that during filing. And then what I love about this is the filing is super easy because it's fine powder. So you don't have to go in aggressively like if it was acrylic or something like that. Some of these dip powders are acrylic, but I'm saying like it's not going to be hard to file. This is going to be super easy. You'll see. So I'm just going to place this over the entire nail. I'm loving this. I can't wait to use this again. This color is amazing. It's so beautiful. So I'm just wiping my brush off and I am sprinkling some of this dip powder on my finger. And I'm making sure I saturate that whole finger. I want it all over. I don't want to skip any areas. All right. So I'm taking this. And I am just wiping off the excess. That's how we're looking. And I'm going to take my nice little fan brush and I'm just going to sprinkle that excess back in here. This is gorgeous. I know it was geared more towards Christmas, but I'm loving the colors. It's super beautiful. It's so pigmented. So I am super excited to wear these nails, okay? And so this third one, I'm just doing it again all over the entire nail. Not too bad. It's not unbearable, but it's definitely a glue type of smell. So just keep that in consideration because it's basically glue, you know? So that's what it's giving right now. I'm going to dust off the excess. And I'm going to move on over to this little pinky right here. And I see a nice little empty spot. So I'm going to make sure I saturate that with some dip powder. Okay. I'm going to do the whole nail. But I want to make sure if I see anything that's empty or that needs a little extra TLC, we're going to make sure we do that. All right. Because it will show once you start filing. So I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle that over the nail. And then this was super easy. I can't believe that went by so fast. That's great. Hopefully the rest of the nails will as well. Because I know this video is going to be kind of long, but I wanted to make sure it was as thorough and detailed as possible, especially for my beginners. Trust me, it'll all work out. Trust the process. It will come to life at the end once we do the filing, the shaping, and the buffing. But before we get to that part and start the next hand, which will go by a lot faster, we are going to put this nice old activator on the nails. Now, one thing I will say about the activator, you don't get a lot. It's not a lot in there, and that kind of worries me because I have a whole nother hand to do. So I kind of don't like that is not a lot of activator. I mean, I guess a little can go a long way, but it's not a lot of activator. So yeah, you might have to invest in some more eventually down the line, but for now, I think we'll be okay. That's just something to consider. I like to give you guys all the information while I'm telling you. I don't want to forget towards the end. And I don't know if you can see it, probably not, but I'm making sure that it is fully, and I mean fully saturated with that activator. I don't want to leave any spots undone because it will kind of just be a mess. You won't be able to file it. It will be kind of very mushy and kind of like a clay consistency, a pasty consistency. So we want to make sure we have that full activator on the whole nail. We have the application done. I did 3 coats of each of the colors on the left hand. We're going to go ahead and zoom past through the right hand. I will record it, but I'm just going to go ahead and zoom past because you see me do the same thing. If you need to rewatch it to get some more tips and tricks, definitely pause the video or just rewind it and you can go back to it. We're going to go ahead and zoom through with this right hand so we can go ahead and start the filing, the shaping, and the buffing. So let's go. So this is what we're looking like so far. Yeah, we got some work to do. So we're going to go ahead and start the filing, the shaping, and buffing. Please trust the process. I know we're looking a little cray-cray right now, but it's all going to come together. I'm done applying all my dip powder, all the color, all of that good jazz. Some people like to put a clear top on just so they can seal it in and don't take out a lot of the color. I'm not going to do that this time because I don't want the nails that much more bigger and bulkier, but you're more than welcome to just add that builder on top so it can seal everything in, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to jump into the filing and the shaping. So I'm going to use this right here. This is a really nice grit. We have the 180, which is on this side, which is going to be the finer side. And then we have the 100 on this side. This is going to be the more textured side. I don't want to say rougher, but okay, I guess a little bit rougher to help clean up these nails, to put the shaping and all that. And then the 180 side is going to be for the smoothing. So let's go ahead and jump into the filing, shaping, and buffing. I'll kind of zoom past this part, but I'll definitely show you guys the process. Okay, so this is kind of what I'm talking about. Unfortunately, the activator didn't penetrate all of the layers. It's some parts that's a little bit gummy, but no worries. I'm gonna go ahead and place some more activator on my fingers just to make sure it's nice and hard and we can continue the filing, shaping, and buffing. But as I said before, you definitely want to make sure that you have this activator all the way through all of the layers so it can penetrate through the dip powder and you're able to do the filing, shaping, and buffing. I'm gonna go ahead and put this on. We definitely have to clean it up just a little bit, but it shouldn't take a lot of work. That's one thing I love about dip powder. It's fairly easy and it shapes really lovely. I don't even think I'm gonna use my nail file. Honestly, I want to use everything or just about everything that came inside of the kit. So that's what I'm going to do. I am just putting on some more of this activator to make sure all the layers are penetrated. And honestly, I am going to go back and put it on the rest of my fingers. I don't want to run into any soft spots of the dip powder that might not have had that activator on the first time. Another thing I will mention, this activator is nearly gone, like already. So you might want to have that in the back of your mind. Might want to consider that if you get this kit, which this kit is amazing, you're probably going to eventually need some more activator because I'm basically out of activator and this is just the first application. So just take that in consideration when you're getting this kit. They have kits so separately as far as the base coat, the activator, and the top coat. You can do that, but definitely keep that in your mind that you may need some more activator and the base coat and the top coat of the dip powder kit. This is what we're looking like so far. This is not bad. However, we're going to finish this set off right. And we are going to use this number 3 in the step, and this is the glossy top coat. Now, honestly, this is basically like glue. So you're just going to put this over your nails to seal in everything, and it's going to give you that glossy, beautiful finish. So that's what we're going to do to finish these nails off. Now, just like before, I want to put a very thin layer of this on. You don't want it bulky because you want to make sure it's going to dry. This air dries. You don't need a lamp or anything like that. So just make sure you put a nice thin layer on so it can dry evenly and quickly. And don't worry, I'm going to do lots of close-ups and I'm going to take photos and you'll see that at the end of the video as well. We already have the glossy top coat on. However, we can stop right here. This is a vibe. It's good to go. We're done. But you guys know me, so I'm going to bring out just a little bit of rhinestone, just a little bit of pizzazz and jazz to the nails, not too much, and I'm just going to put it right into the top coat. I believe that it should be good to go, and I just want maybe 3. And that's all. Just something to add a little bit more jazz to the nails and kind of tie in that glitter. Even though this isn't glitter, it's silver, and it's kind of just giving a little bit more sparkle. This is what we're looking like so far. I'm gonna just go ahead and put some of the rhinestones on this finger right here, and then we will be done and good to go. So we are to the end of the video, okay? And we are going to go over this kit right here. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce it. I think it's a Aokitec or a Aokitec kit. I'm not sure. You guys comment down below. But this is what this kit was looking like. This is all the information on the box. And we have everything that came inside of the kit. We had these beautiful 9 dip powders that came in the kit. It came with the essentials as far as the cuticle pusher, the wooden stick. We got some extra brushes in there as well. We have this file, this little nail duster. It came with 1, 2, and 3, which would be the base, the activator, and the glossy top coat. Also a cuticle pusher, and then we have the instructions that's on the bottom. This is what the nails is looking like. I'll definitely do a close-up so you guys can see it, but I just wanted to show everything that came inside of the kit again. I absolutely love it. This is so beautiful. It turned out even better than I thought that it was going to. This is very elegant, but it has just a touch of pizzazz. We love the glitter nails right here. I'm in love with these red nails. It's so beautiful. This is very beginner friendly. The only thing that I added was the rhinestones that did not come with the kit, but I just wanted to put a little bit more flair inside of it. And then this is the close-up of the nails. This is what it's looking like. I'll definitely take some photos and some videos at the end so you guys can see it, but I absolutely love it. It was super easy 1, 2, 3 system. You just read the directions if you're a beginner and you'll be good to go. If you're advanced or pro, you already know how to do this. This is very beginner friendly. I was able to do what I needed to do. The only reason why it took long is obviously I'm recording, and you definitely have to put that in consideration. But if you're just doing it, it shouldn't take that long of a process. You can do as many dips as you want with the dip powder, and the color will intensify, or if you do less dips with it, it'll be a lighter variation of the color. So I did 1 coat of the builder on all the nails, and then I did the dip colors 3 times on the nails. Not too bulky. Filing definitely will help give you that shape and that structure back. Thank you so much for stopping by, allowing me to borrow some of your time. For me, it is so greatly appreciated. I appreciate you guys. We are heading to 500 subscribers. Thank you to each and every one of you. And for the new ones that's stopping by, I hope you consider staying, joining the family. Definitely subscribe. We have a huge giveaway when we get to 500 subscribers. So definitely subscribe to the channel. Turn on those post notifications so you never miss another great uploaded video. This is your girl, Jay Way, here with Jeweled Nail Designs. Get it? JND. Jeweled Nail Designs. Okay. Yes. So thank you so much for stopping by, and I will see you in the next video.